The marriage of a girl and a boy is the starting point of a big human race. The marriage of the chief of believers, Imam Ali, peace be upon him, with the daughter of the Messenger, peace be upon, laid the foundation of a great race which continues yet and will remain continuous and persistent up to the end of human history. And hereby we are benefiting from the benevolence and beneficence of this sacred relation and this blessed tree. Imam Khomeini, Ridwanullahi alayhi, and Ayatollah Khamenei, the great leaders, are the fruits of this blessed marriage. The marriage of Abu Sufyan and Hind, the liver eater, also brought into being the foundation of an immoral race, and so the Umayyad caliphs came into existence. From the dirty relation, humanity has suffered great losses and continues facing difficulties at the hand of this corrupt tree. Islam has set so many laws and topics, and stresses so much upon the subject of marriage and selection of spouses that makes one surprised and astonished. Professor Muhammad Taqi Ja'fari used to say, Bertrand Russell, the renowned European philosopher, wrote to me and asked, why has Islam given such value to and formed laws for marriage? In response to him I wrote, the problem is man. Marriage brings man into existence. The actual aim of the discussion in this book is making boys and girls familiar with the method and manner of choosing a spouse, so that they can succeed in the critical series and fate-making matter. But the other decision and selection, i.e. selecting a job, will insha'Allah be brought into consideration in another book. Reminding of a few points. 1. The stories and examples quoted in this book are real and authentic, but the names of the people have been changed to protect their identity. Only in a few cases have the real names been used. Chapter 1. Excellence of marriage. Man and woman, enhancements of each other. Allah created man in a manner in which he is incomplete and imperfect without a spouse. Man may upgrade his knowledge, faith, and qualities, but he shall never reach the desired perfection while he does not have a spouse, be it man or woman. Nothing can substitute marriage and the raising of a family. Both the male and female sexes need each other from a spiritual as well as physical point of view, and each one of them is incomplete and imperfect when alone and in solitude. When they are placed beside each other, they complete each other. This is the law of creation, and it commands the whole universe. The Quran calls man and woman the dress of each other. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. They, wives, are a dress for you, husbands, and you are a dress for them. Chapter 2, verse 187. That is to say, they are the enhancement, counterpart, and guard of each other's honor and secrets. Man cannot live honorably and eminently in society without dress. He feels himself in a state of imperfection. The lonely person, too, feels himself imperfect. Dress saves and protects a person from the effects of winter and summer. The spouse, too, saves one from worries, futility, homelessness, aimlessness, and solitude. As a dress decorates man, spouses, too, are the decoration of each other. Spouse, a big blessing from Allah. One of the greatest blessings of Allah to man is a nice life partner. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said in this regard, the Muslim man has not achieved any benefit from Allah's blessings better than a suitable Muslim wife after Islam. Marriage philosophy. It is possible that some people who have not appreciated the depth of the philosophy of marriage and setting up of a joint life may say, we satisfy our sexual lust through many other means apart from marriage and fulfill this desire through other ways. So what is the need of accepting the responsibility of marriage? It should be said in response to this creed and question that fulfillment of sexual desire and lust is not the only achievement and advantage of marriage. It is only one of its benefits. Instead, apart from soothing and comforting the sexual instinct, it has many other aspects and dimensions of excellence, worth, and importance, like raising a family. It gifts man with other factors such as commitment, completion, progress, maturity, development of personality, comfort, and many more valuable benefits. Commitment to a wife and family brings magnanimity, splendor, and a sense of social responsibility, and makes many of his capabilities and sleeping talents bloom and bear fruit. After marriage, the personality of a man changes into a social personality, and he considers himself absolutely responsible for the security of his wife and children's future. On this account, he uses the sum total of his senses, initiatives, and abilities. There is an enjoyment and progress in raising a family to which nothing can be the substitute. Martyr Mutahari Ridwanullahi alayhi says in this regard, there are ethical characteristics which cannot be achieved except in the school of family raising. The foundation of a family means developing a kind of interest in the fate of others. The moralists and ascetics who have not crossed through this phase have a sort of immaturity and childhood in their personalities to the end of their lives. And it is one of the reasons why marriage has been stressed upon as a sacred matter and a service in Islam. Marriage is the first and preliminary phase of exist from the shell of natural personal self and the expansion of human's personality. Similarly, he says about the training mode of marriage, there is a maturity which does not take shape except in the shade of marriage and raising of family. It is not shaped in school, formed in a crusade against ego, nor is it inculcated and raised through right vigil and prayers. It does not even come into existence through love and attachment with pious ones. What a large number of people have been observed who did not follow any principles of ethics, religion, and society, and a form of frivolity, heedlessness, and debauchery, overwhelmed their character, but after getting married, their character, morale, and attitude changed, and they became sober and dignified, and their habits and manners began to show a kind of graciousness and sagaciousness. Spouse, the sign of Allah's wisdom and source of man's comfort. Allah, who is the creator of human beings and knows their peculiarities, characteristics, nature, and instincts, described the creation of man and woman, and placing them side by side as one of his wisdoms and signs, and introduced marriage as the cause of love, affection, beneficence, and comfort of man, saying, in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. And one of his signs is that he created males for you from yourselves, that you may find rest in them, and he put between you love and compassion. Most surely there are signs in this for a people who reflect. Chapter 30, verse 21. This peace and comfort is not the common and ordinary conventional comfort which psychologists and psychiatrists describe. Instead, in addition to that, it includes dignity, grace, balance of thought, vision, and spirit, the feeling of being worthy and having a serious personality, and the achievement of additional honor, status, and so on. Marriage, the improver of the value of man's practices. Marriage and family raising imprints such an effect upon the existence of man by upgrading the worth of his personality on the way to its maturity, that even his practices and services become more valued and worthier before Allah and the angels, so that its value goes up to many times the previous one. For example, consider this hadith of Imam Ja'far, peace be upon him. 2 cycles of service offered by a married person is more excellent and worthier than 70 cycles of service offered by a bachelor and unmarried person. The loveliest center to Allah. The unit which is formed through marriage is the object of Allah's love and kindness, and He views it with tenderness and benevolence. The great ambassador of Allah has put it in this way. No construction has been constructed lovelier than marriage to Allah. May He be honored and glorified. What prosperity and beneficence can be loftier than Allah's love for one's family, and dwelling, that too, in the super way, and viewing it with love, affection, and kindness?